Hey guys, I'm Robert. Welcome to the Synth Party. This is my studio where I do all my fun music making. And let's see, this is kind of the main area over here where I'm close to my DAW Pro Tools. Some of my main workhorses are for sure like the Mini Moog. It's a Model D with the original, and I just love the aesthetics of it. It's beautiful, like the big letters, wood everywhere, folds into itself, which is kind of cool for easy transport. Not that I take it anywhere ever, but you know. It's got CV and gate in, so it integrates seamlessly with Pro Tools via MIDI. I've got a little converter that works great. Here we have the Lindrum, classic 80s drum machine. I lucked out and have a friend who isn't using it and is just letting me play with it, so it's been a lot of fun. Got the Oberheim SEM, amazing sounding mono. Love that guy. And Juno 60. I know we've already done a demo on this one. You can see that on our channel. Love it, use it all the time. This is kind of my most recent acquisition, is this Jupiter 6. If we kind of go around the room this way, I've got the Roland SH101 here. Lucked out and found a broken one that I was able to fix, and that's a really cool synth. We'll do some demos on that one. Love the arpeggiator, love the sequencer. I love messing around with that kind of stuff. Down here we have, this is kind of for my live setup with Robert Loud. So this is the rack version of the JX3P MKS30. Moving around the room here, got some guitar amps. This here is a JX3P. I love this synth. I was surprised when I found one locally for a great price. I was like, I'm gonna try this thing, and like within a couple weeks it was like my favorite, and it ends up on everything I do just because it's got a lot of character, and I think I've now converted like 6 friends to getting them too, because
me included.
Next we have the Octave Cat, which is awesome. Supposedly it's a bit of a copy of the ARP Odyssey. Got this one from a local studio here in Provo that it had been sitting in the studio garage pretty much since the 70s, 80s. I think this is from late 70s. And that was a really fun find. It's a great sounding synth. This is the Thera Box. It's similar to the Owens, I always say this wrong, people online are gonna get mad at me, but it's called like the Owens Martineau or whatever.
Let them get mad.
And this ring here chooses where the pitch is. And there's some other instruments like this, like the French Connection. The cool thing about this one is that it actually has a synth built into it, 2 oscillators, filter, everything. Where some of the other ones are just CV controllers, where this is an actual full synth, and they're made in Canada, handmade. This wood is handmade, and the guy just does a killer job. There's some cool YouTube videos you can look up on that. This is the Moog Source. This is actually the first analog synth I ever got, and my band Fictionist, we were recording our self-titled album in 2014, and our friend named Piper. He was producing the album with us, and he had this smoke source sitting against the wall in his studio, and I was immediately drawn to the aesthetics. I'll admit that's what I was like, that's the coolest looking keyboard I've ever seen. And I didn't actually know that much about synthesis at the time, but I just kind of used this, like every time we'd go record and I wasn't doing anything, I'd go dink around on this thing. And so I consider this kind of my learning keyboard. And so this one has a very special place in my heart, and it sounds freaking awesome. So. Over here we have a couple Polys, DX7, the second version, Poly 800 with reverse keys. It's kind of fun. Found that in a shop in Arizona while I was on tour. The Casio SK1, I love that little thing. That's all over Fictionist stuff as well. AX80. This old Yamaha is awesome. This is also on a lot on Fictionist stuff. It has this cool random section with the digital synthesizer where you can adjust attack and decay and like a few random features, but you can actually get some pretty cool DX7 type sounds with this. Here we have the HS60. It's a Roland, it's like the home market version of the Juno 106 with built-in speakers. And that's the keyboard I use live with Fictionist, and it sounds really great. I mean, it sounds like a Juno 106, which is awesome. This is the EMU Emulator 2 Plus technically. And I actually got this from the same studio. I got the Octave Tap. It is really cool. One of my favorite things about this, we'll do a full demo on this, but the guy Randall who runs the studio I bought this from, he got really into sampling in the 80s, and he actually would hire a bunch of session musicians to come in, and he would record them to tape, playing like every note or whatever, and he would make banks for the emulator that they would sell commercially. So any of these like North Star ones he actually made, and so he gave me just all of these floppy disks, which have really cool, unique sounds on them that were professionally sampled, and I love it. It's really fun. Moving around the room here, we got this, I call this the drum station, or the drum closet. I started to get a couple drum machines, and I was like, man, I gotta figure out, every time I use them, I'd have to like plug in a bunch of cables to sync it all and whatnot. And I was like, I gotta figure out a way to streamline this a little bit. So I came up with this concept, found this at a thrift store. But each drawer pulls out with a different drum machine on it. This is the Akai MPC 1000. I use this live with Robert Loud. And I also have some samples in it that can trigger these modules, these 808, 909 modules. All the drum machines in this area can all sync via MIDI. And so what I usually do is just kind of turn them all on, and maybe the kick on one on the module and the hats on the 606 and snare on 707, whatever, and just intermix them. And with MIDI beat clock, they all just play together, and I can start with a beat in an organic way, and then later I can edit it in Pro Tools. So moving along here, we have the TR606. I love this little analog drum machine. Some of my favorite features are for sure the toms. They just sound really mellow and a really cool character. Korg Volca kick, I've been messing with that recently. I've been loving that. SP44SX, I've used that live with things. It's a really handy sampler to have. Volca FM. Here we have the 707, which I'm a very big fan of. The Robert Loud stuff has this all over it just because I think it's fun to work with the beats on the machine, and really cool sounds. Lucked out and found the 727, the companion, with all the Latin instruments on there, and so it's fun to use those too. That's just some effects down there. Yeah, and then that's pretty much all the synths in here. There's quite a few. We got the Moog Minotaur here. That's been really great for live use, because it has program change and stuff. So I'll send some program change messages to it, and it's beautiful sounding Moog, very simple. This thing's kind of fun. The Boss Voice Transformer. It's the standalone like formant, so I love messing with vocals with that thing. Over here we have the Roland Space Echo, the 201, which has the reverb and the delay. It's beautiful sounding. This one's really beat up. Doesn't have missing knobs and stuff, but hey, works great. This is one of my other favorite delays. Eric's got one too, the R880. This here is the Roland Vocoder SVC 350, and this one's actually going over to Eric's studio soon, but it's a really cool, old, kind of really robotic sounding vocoder. If you're into vocoders at all, I'm sure you've heard of that. And then we have some, this is the 4-operator DX style synth. Yeah, some reverb. Don't forget the Casio VL1.
I'll never forget.
Also a calculator. Let's see, I don't think I forgot anything. This is my studio. Excited to show you more of my favorite sounds to make on these synths. And got some guitars over there too. I love playing guitar as well. But this is the synth party.
Yeah.
Bye.